still going to be continuing. The main thing about confirmation is that this is a sacrament, and it's going to help you and push you in your faith. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's never going to be easy because every day is going to be a constant battle. Through confirmation and this whole experience over the past year comes the next big step in your faith. So first, let's talk about service. This is something we are all called to do in our faith. In my own experience, it's been really hard to want to do service, and I know some of you don't, but at Dowling, we're required to do 10 hours of Christian service per semester. And so when I kind of came into Dowling, like my sole motivation was, I need to get done my 10 hours of service, and my motivation, like I said, is basically just to get it done and then be recognized and be like, yes, I've done these service hours. I want you to see, here's my list of things that I've done. But the thing is, doing service is a lot more than, like St.Theresa said, just doing something to be nice. It's serving Christ beyond just those people, and it's our call to discipleship and holiness. So I will start. So my summer before my junior year, I was just doing the regular summer things that people do in the summer. And I was doing a lot of procrastinating of what I was actually supposed to be doing. So my grandma approached me one day, and she told me, I have this idea. I know Blessed Ministries, which is it's an organization, and they go and work with people in Limpopo, South Africa, which is, but yeah. Okay. You don't know Limpopo. So they needed dresses for little girls in Limpopo, these little orphan girls. And so my grandma said, I think we like sewing and like sort of crafting things. So she wanted to know if I wanted to help her lead this project. And so I thought a lot about it. And the first thing I thought was, I already have my service hours for the summer. I already helped with C2S7. So I already knew that I didn't need any more hours. And just overall, this was like a lot of work. Because our goal was just to make 200 dresses. So I decided to start this project because I kind of felt like God wanted me to, which I know sounds weird, but honestly, so with the help of a lot of people, I actually came to St.Theresa's. I talked at masses, and that people were really generous. Like, it wasn't all just me. And we ended up making over 200 dresses, actually like 250 or something. I don't remember exactly. But it was really awesome because my sister and my grandma went to South Africa that same summer and to Limpopo with Blessed Ministries, and they saw like all those dresses hung up in the store, and I was just like, whoa, that's so cool that I'm actually like doing something that's affecting people. And I saw it like firsthand. Well, I didn't see it firsthand, but they saw it firsthand, which is awesome. So that was kind of like the first service that I truly felt, I'm doing this service because God wanted me to do it. Like, I know that when my grandma approached me, it wasn't just a coincidence. God doesn't have coincidences. He knows what's going on. And that was kind of also the first time that I wasn't doing service to get service hours or for recognition, but because I actually wanted to do it. Like, I knew when I was going in that this was going to take a ton of time. But I knew I had to do that because that was a call that God was wanting me to do. Okay, sorry. So there's a difference between talking the talk and walking the walk. We're all called to action. And Jesus walked the earth, yes. He spoke to people. He spoke the truth. He lived it. He was constantly serving, curing, feeding, and uniting the least of our brothers and sisters. And we can't make blind people see, and right now we're not going to be able to miraculously cure cancer or anything. But we can genuinely help other people. So there's a lot of service around us that we can do. And like my service I did with the dresses, there's even stuff that you can start yourself. Because there's so many people who need help, and all it takes is for you to get and do it. And I think that's probably the hardest step, is to actually, do something about it. And again, that's not easy. It's another constant battle, but that's why God is always supporting and why there's so many people who are willing to help. But ultimately, it's going to be our decision if we actually want to serve Christ out of love, not just because we have to or we want to get recognition for it. So the Beatitudes are a leading guide on how to do this service. Each of these statements sheds light on what it means to live a Christian life. And I know you all know what the Beatitudes are. So the thing is, those lead you more than just holiness. They lead to blessing. You know, it says like, blessed are they, blessed are they, blessed are they. And we live out of the Beatitudes when we serve others, including corporal works of mercy, which, again, I think we know, but I'll just say them real quick. So feeding the hungry, giving drink to the thirsty, clothing the naked, sheltering the homeless, visiting the sick, visiting the imprisoned, and burying the dead. And then the spiritual works of mercy are admonish the sinner, instruct the ignorant, which is teaching and educating, counsel the doubtful, comfort the sorrow, bear wrongs patiently, forgive all injuries, and pray for the living and the dead. Okay, so those are kind of like, when you do service, those are kind of like the guiding principles of, like, I guess you could say, like, categories of what you can do. But it's also important to remember that all people have dignity, as we said before. We all have dignity because we come from Christ and because we're made in His image and likeness. As human beings, we're all equal. Do you want me to wait?
Yeah, please. Let's get C1 out of here. Sorry about that.
Okay. It's important to remember that all people have dignity. We all have dignity because we come from Christ and we're made in His image and likeness. As human beings, we're all equal, but we're different. Obviously, like guys and girls aren't the same, a child and an adult aren't the same, but we're all equal. We're all brothers and sisters in Christ's love and how we treat each other. We have to, when we serve, we have to make this like representation that we're brothers and sisters in Christ. And one thing, especially when serving, it's really important to remember that when you're serving people, especially directly, that doesn't mean you're above them, because every person has dignity, because we're all children of God. So it may seem really hard to do service or go out of our comfort zone to serve other people. I know, especially like going to nursing homes or just situations that you're not comfortable in, like it's really hard sometimes. But another thing about service is that we're called to be risk takers for Christ. The summer before my junior year, my mom told me about this mission trip to Joplin, Missouri with St. Mary's. It was to help rebuild houses for tornado victims. And I really like doing that sort of like coffee thing, like I said before, and like doing stuff with my hands, actually making a difference. So immediately I was like, oh yeah, that sounds awesome. But the thing was, I had never like hammered the house before. I'd never done that sort of thing before. And I knew that like I'd meet really awesome people, but I literally knew no one. Like I don't know anyone from Johnston really, and I don't know anyone from St. Mary's. So especially last year, I was definitely more like shy and reserved, and now it's definitely like a drawback for me because, you know, if you're not comfortable in a situation, why would I put myself through something like that? So, I knew that I would meet good people, but I also knew that I'd be spending a 4-hour car ride with people. Like, I'd meet them today up, we would drive up, and I wouldn't know anyone. But 4-hour car ride is so awkward. And then, also, I'd be living with these people for the next 5 days. But again, something inside me kind of told me, you know, the Holy Spirit was just kind of like tugging my heart, like, you should do this. You should just take a leap of faith and trust me. So I decided to make that jump, and out of a comfortable place I was always used to be in, the people I always knew, and go on this mission trip. And you know what? God's crazy. He's doing. That mission trip was one of the best experiences of my life, and I was actually making a difference in people's lives again. I met some amazing people that I still talk to today, and it's not easy to actually push ourselves out of that comfort zone or push ourselves in service, but the thing is, God is always going to be right by our side, and there's people who are going to be right by our side, and God shines through those people all the time. One of the greatest modern-day saints who served was Blessed Mother Teresa. I'm sure you've heard of her. She's pretty awesome. She's known for saying it's not how much we give, but how much love we put into giving. This really sums up service. We can't be fake in our service. We have to actually ask ourselves, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why I'm actually doing this service? Is it out of love for God, or is it out of love for myself? And when we have true and genuine love for others, and who we're serving directly or indirectly, our love for God shines through. And as confirmation candidates, it's kind of a goal, obviously, to be more like Christ. And a question I want to ask you guys, how are you serving your brothers and sisters? How are you being Christ to them every day? How is Christ shining through you to them? So Mother Teresa also said, not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. All right, so that's that part. And then, just so you all know, it's 32 days confirmation as of today. So that's really exciting. And the awesome part is what comes after. We're all called to holiness, and after confirmation, we're called to continue to live as disciples for Christ and grow in holiness. And the words disciple and holy can be really intimidating. I know when I think of those, I'm like, I don't even know where to start. Those just sound like huge words of a really nuts and stuff. So what does holiness even mean is the first question. What's it? So being holy is an attitude towards life that is centered on Christ in everything we do. It's an action. We can't just have this image in our head of what we're supposed to do. We have to actually do it. We have to actually be Christians. And it's something we have to live out every single day. It's not something that some people have and some people don't, but it is something that we're going to have to work towards every day. And as I said before service, being holy is also taking the risk. It's not being a perfect person, but it's being genuine and striving towards Christ, and it's going to be a constant battle. So we can do that by being filled with the love of God, loving other people, and being humble people in prayer. So something I have always struggled with has been this separate image in my head, of what being holy was, and then the rest of my life. So I this would be my faith life over here, and I go to Mass, and I'd go to chapel whenever I could, and then there's everything else. But the thing is, I have to recognize that in my life, those aren't separate, they're one thing together. So when I have a foundation of prayer, then it doesn't have to become a totally separate side of me. It's within everything I do. I can still be a spiritual holy person and be in activities I want to participate in. I'm in show choir, I'm in student ambassadors, chamber choir, musical. I can still wear clothes that are in style and be holy. I can still participate in sports and be holy. It's not a separate thing I do, because everything I do is based on my faith. Yeah, and everything I do in my faith is truly for God. So we can live a holy life by, obviously, not going to the party we know there's going to be alcohol at, not gossiping about that kid who everyone hates. It's more, though, than a do not do list. Holiness is what we should do. So it's serving God because we want to serve God, not because of service hours. It's going out of our comfort zone and evangelizing our faith by how we treat others and in our service. It's taking time each day to spend with God in prayer. It's just 10 minutes, It's sending a friend a text to them to tell them, I'm thinking about you and I love you. It's finding people who are going to push you in your faith and be genuine in our relationship with others and with Jesus. And I know after I focus on my relationship with God and holiness, that holiness can be genuinely shown in how I live my life and how I treat other people. This is, again, constant striving towards Christ. But the awesome thing is, confirmation is the springboard into that next step. And receiving the gifts are what help us. When I got confirmed, I wasn't I was Holy Spirit, and I was whoa, I feel like a different person. I'm just going to tell you now, that doesn't become this like second holy person. I'm still working on it every day. I'm still working on going towards Christ, but that's what we're called to do, especially after confirmation. And also, as Ms. Baker said, the cool thing is discipleship isn't a solo mission. There are all these people who are going through the exact same thing as you are, at the same journey. It doesn't even have to be your age. So one thing that's really cool is accountability partners, and this is finding someone that you really trust and who's going to push you towards Christ. It could just be like someone to go to Mass with, someone to pray with, and hold each other up in a circle. Our vocation is to grow in holiness, and our mission is to be disciples, but we don't have to do that alone. So in the final days before you receive confirmation, ask God to bring those people into your life, because that's really important. To be a holy person, you have to surround yourself with people who are going to bring you towards Christ, not towards everything else. Because our culture is just bombarding you every single day of what they think is supposed to be holy and good, and honestly it's not. So, just pray for that. God will show you those people. And then again, I'm not saying this is going to be easy. No one ever said it's going to be easy, but it's possible because we're all called to be saints. So, maybe asking yourself, what's the point of living this so-called holy lifestyle? Why do I have to spend my life with God, not with other people? And this is because living a Christ-centered life is the only thing that lasts. That's period. That's it. Like, if I center my life on anything else, money, sports, another person's opinion, that's true for me, pretty true for me, it will eventually fail me. Christ will never fail you. So challenge yourself to grow and seek opportunities to become holier. We can't just act like Christians, we have to actually be one